My girlfriend dumped me on my birthday, so I revealed her secret affair. Hey Reddit, I never thought I'd be posting here, but life threw me a curveball so wild I can barely believe it happened. I, 29 years old, male, have been with my now ex-girlfriend, Hannah, 27 years old, female, for almost 3 years. We met through mutual friends, hit it off immediately, and built what I thought was a solid, trusting relationship. Everyone said we were that couple. Always laughing, supporting each other, taking little trips. I thought she was the one. I've been looking forward to my 29th birthday for weeks. I'm not a big party guy, but Hannah insisted on planning something. She told me, "Don't worry about a thing, babe. I've got it all handled." She even teased me about a big surprise. I pictured a cozy night with our closest friends and her homemade lasagna, which is still my favorite thing on earth. The big day finally came. I got off work early, grabbed flowers for Hannah, and felt genuinely happy, like my life was in a good place. When I walked into our apartment, the lights were dim, and I spotted Hannah on the couch. Her face was serious. No balloons, no lasagna smell, no music. She told me, flat out, "We need to talk." What followed felt like an out-of-body experience. She said she wasn't happy, that we'd grown apart, and she needed space. I kept waiting for the punchline, but instead she took off her necklace, the one I gave her last year, and left it on the table. Just like that, on my birthday, the person I loved most ended it all. When the door shut behind Hannah, I just stood there in shock. I kept replaying her words, trying to find some hint, some warning I'd missed. Instead, the apartment felt impossibly empty. No birthday dinner, no friends popping in, no laughter. I spent the next hour just staring at the flowers I'd brought for her, trying to process what the hell had happened. Eventually, I texted my best friend Tom. "Hannah broke up with me. On my birthday. Can you come over?" He called right away. "No F ****ing way. I'm coming now." Tom showed up with a six-pack and a bag of chips, and just let me vent. I told him everything. Her distant vibe the past month, canceled plans, her phone always turned face down. He shook his head. "Man, you don't deserve this. At all." My family tried to call. My sister left a voicemail singing happy birthday, and then trailing off, confused. I didn't pick up for anyone else. Most of my other friends sent quick texts. "Sorry, man, that sucks," or just a generic hang in there. I didn't sleep much that night. Kept going over every detail, wondering what I'd done wrong. I scrolled through old photos of us together. Holidays, birthdays, those dumb selfies she used to send at work. It felt like a different lifetime. But even through the pain, something in her eyes during the breakup didn't sit right with me. The guilt, the way she wouldn't meet my gaze. I pushed it down at first, but deep down, I think I already knew. There was more to the story. The next couple of days were rough. I forced myself back to work, but every break, I ended up scrolling through our old texts, looking for answers. I wanted to believe it was just about us growing apart, but the more I replayed her words and her cold expression, the less it made sense. Tom texted constantly, checking in. He started hinting that maybe there was someone else, but I shut that down. She wouldn't do that, man. She's not like that. But the doubt was there, gnawing at me. My sister insisted I come over for dinner, but even surrounded by family, I felt like a ghost, just going through the motions. On the third night, I decided to gather up some of Hannah's things to drop off at her friend Emily's place. As I was packing, her tablet lit up on the kitchen counter. I almost left it, but then I noticed a notification, new message from Mark, smiling face with smiling eyes. My heart skipped. Mark? I knew the name. He was an old friend from work who'd started hanging around our group in the past few months. I hesitated, then opened the message. There it was. "Miss you already. Last night was amazing. When can I see you again?" 2 hearts. I felt the world drop out from under me. The tablet buzzed again, and I saw more messages, photos, jokes, her calling him babe. I realized the truth was staring me in the face. Hannah didn't just break up with me on my birthday. She broke up with me because she was already with someone else. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through their messages. There were weeks of conversations. Jokes about sneaking away, late-night photos from hotel rooms, and her telling Mark she'd handle things soon. I felt sick. The last few weeks of distance, the missed calls, the sudden interest in girls' nights, it all snapped into place. The worst part was seeing her so happy and carefree in those messages, while with me she'd seemed tired and irritable. Mark was everything I wasn't, apparently adventurous, spontaneous, the kind of guy who could whisk her away at a moment's notice. And I'd just been the reliable, boring boyfriend she was waiting to dump. I called Tom. He answered on the first ring. I didn't even try to hide the anger in my voice. She was cheating, Tom. With Mark. It's all here, texts, photos, everything. He was silent for a second, then let out a long breath. I'm so sorry, dude. What are you gonna do? I honestly didn't know. Part of me wanted to confront her, scream at her, demand answers. Another part wanted to curl up and pretend I'd never seen any of it. I barely slept, adrenaline and heartbreak wrestling all night. The next morning, after hours of staring at the ceiling, I made up my mind. I couldn't just let her walk away with a lie. She'd humiliated me on my birthday. She didn't even have the guts to tell me the truth. If she wanted a new start with Mark, then she, and he, could do it in the light. By noon, I was done feeling sorry for myself. I took screenshots of every message, every photo, every "I love you" she sent him while telling me she just needed space. It hurt, but it also made me furious. I decided that if Hannah wanted to start a new life, she could do it honestly or not at all. I started with our closest mutual friends. I invited a few of them over under the pretense of needing company. When they showed up, Tom, Emily, and Jake, I tried to act normal, but Emily picked up on the tension right away. Have you heard from Hannah? She asked quietly. Instead of answering, I handed Tom my phone with the screenshots. Silence filled the room as everyone read through the messages. Jake let out a low whistle. Damn, man. She's been with Mark this whole time. Emily looked genuinely shocked. Apparently, she'd believed all of Hannah's breakup excuses, too. I told them what happened on my birthday, about the tablet, the texts, all of it. I don't want to make a scene, I said, but I'm not letting her keep lying to everyone. You guys deserve to know what's been happening. They agreed, though I could see Emily struggling with disbelief. She and Hannah had been close. Tom squeezed my shoulder. Whatever you decide, I've got your back. That night, I posted a simple but clear message in our friend group chat, just so everyone hears it from me. Hannah broke up with me on my birthday, and I found out she's been cheating with Mark. I've got proof if anyone doubts it. I need space, but I won't let her rewrite the story. The silence that followed was deafening. But at least now, the truth was finally out. Within minutes of my message, my phone started lighting up. Some friends sent shocked responses. What? No way, man. Are you serious? Others asked for details or screenshots, which I sent without hesitation. Emily called, voice shaking. I can't believe she would do that to you. Or to us. Are you okay? I wasn't. Not really. But hearing someone finally believe me helped more than I expected. An hour later, Mark texted me. Yes, Mark. Dude, what the hell? Why are you telling everyone my business? I ignored him. If he wanted privacy, he should have thought about that before sneaking around with someone else's girlfriend. Hannah tried calling next, then sent a flurry of frantic texts. How could you do this? This is private. Let's talk. Please don't do this to me. I didn't reply. The truth wasn't doing anything to her. I was just tired of her lies and wanted everyone to see her for who she was. By evening, the group chat was a mess. Friends split into sides, some supporting me, others too stunned or trying to stay neutral. Word started to spread beyond our circle. A couple of mutual acquaintances texted to say they'd heard what happened and were here if I needed anything. For the first time since the breakup, I didn't feel alone. The pain was still there, but so was relief. The secret that had poisoned everything was finally out in the open, and I wasn't the only one carrying it anymore. The days that followed were a whirlwind of gossip, awkward encounters, and confrontations I'd never imagined. Mutual friends divided into camps. Tom stuck by me, inviting me out and making sure I wasn't isolated. Jake sent angry texts to Hannah and Mark, demanding explanations. Emily, though hurt, stopped responding to Hannah's calls after seeing the screenshots. Hannah showed up at my apartment 2 days later. I almost didn't answer, but some part of me needed closure. She looked terrible, eyes red, makeup smeared. Please, she said quietly, can we talk? We sat at the kitchen table, the same place she'd dumped me. She tried to explain. She never meant to hurt me, that she and Mark just happened, that she was lost and didn't want to ruin my birthday. The excuses all sounded hollow. I asked her, why didn't you just tell me the truth? She looked away. I was scared. I thought maybe we could still be friends. I shook my head. Friends don't do this to each other. As she left, she whispered, "I hope you'll forgive me someday." I didn't answer. Forgiveness, I realized, was something I owed myself first. After she left, I blocked her and Mark on everything. A few mutual friends cut her off, and others stayed neutral. Mark's reputation took a hit. People in our social group wanted nothing to do with him for a while. The drama slowly cooled, but nothing went back to how it was before. There were still scars, but at least I didn't have to pretend anymore. I could finally start letting go. With the worst of the drama behind me, real healing began. Tom made sure I got out of the house, dragging me to trivia nights and hikes. Emily apologized for not seeing through Hannah sooner, and we slowly rebuilt our friendship. Jake became almost protective, always checking in, something I hadn't realized I needed until then. My family, especially my sister, rallied around me. She came over with homemade brownies and bad movies, reminding me that I was more than just the guy who got dumped. My parents, who had been worried about my isolation after the breakup, were quietly supportive. "No, I told you so's," just silent understanding and love. There were tough days, though, nights when I replayed the relationship in my mind, wondering how I'd missed the signs or what I could have done differently. Sometimes, I caught myself checking Hannah's social media, only to close the app in frustration. But bit by bit, the need for answers faded. I threw myself into work and old hobbies. Photography, guitar, and weekend trips I'd always postponed. For the first time in years, my life felt open again. No more hiding, no more second-guessing. I started to feel proud, not just for surviving the breakup, but for refusing to stay silent about the betrayal. One night, Tom and I sat on the porch, cold beers in hand. He nudged me. "You know, you handled this better than most people would. That takes guts." For the first time, I almost believed it. Maybe I'd lost Hannah, but I'd found something more important, my self-respect. As the weeks rolled on, life started to feel lighter. I stopped checking my phone for apologies that never came. Friends who truly cared stuck around, and the rest faded away without much drama. I realized the breakup had been more than losing a girlfriend. It was a clean break from people and patterns that didn't serve me. One Saturday, Emily texted about a group picnic. I almost said no, worried about awkward run-ins, but I went anyway. It felt good, sitting in the sun, laughing at old jokes, seeing that everyone else had moved forward too. Mark wasn't there, and no one mentioned Hannah. I could finally breathe. Later, I bumped into Hannah at the grocery store. There was a moment, just two people who once meant everything to each other, now almost strangers. She mumbled a quick, "Hey," and I nodded back, nothing more. No anger, no sadness, just closure. Slowly, I opened myself up to new things, took a trip to the mountains, signed up for a photography class, even went on a couple of casual dates. I focused on myself, my dreams, my goals, my happiness. The old ache turned into a kind of gratitude. The betrayal had hurt like hell, but it forced me to learn who I could trust, starting with myself. I wasn't looking for revenge anymore. I just wanted peace. And for the first time since my birthday, I felt free. Looking back, I never thought I'd get through the heartbreak, let alone find any kind of silver lining. But here I am, stronger and more sure of myself than ever. If you told me on my birthday that I'd lose Hannah, most of our friend group, and all my trust in a single week, I'd have said I'd never recover. But I did. The biggest lesson? Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't let anyone gaslight you into doubting your worth or your truth. And if you're ever betrayed, whether by a partner or a friend, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and share your side. Silence protects the wrong people. For anyone out there dealing with heartbreak, betrayal, or an ugly breakup, you'll survive, even if it doesn't feel like it now. Rely on the friends and family who show up for you. Take time for yourself, rediscover your passions, and let go of the need for revenge or closure from people who never deserved your trust. You get to write your ending. My story didn't go the way I wanted, but it led me back to myself. I'm open to new beginnings, and I know now that I deserve honesty, loyalty, and love from others, but most of all from myself. Thanks for reading, Reddit. If my story helps even one person feel less alone, then it was worth every word. Stay strong out there.